limited within the devotee. He would not allow anyone who was not a devotee to take part in the performance. So if we train our devotees to present some dramatic performances or movie, I think it will be very successful because they will play some transcendental sentiment, not for trade purpose. That will come out very successful. Yes, in our childhood, we had the occasion of taking part in a drama, Chaitanya Leela. I took the part of Advaita and our friends, others, somebody took the part of Chaitanya, Nityananda and others. The director of the play had been Amritlal Bose, a well-known author and lecturer, and one of the main theatre producers in Calcutta. We practiced for more than a year, Prabhupada said. One of Bose's main points of training was to get the actors to internalize the feelings of the characters, and he kept telling Prabhupada, feel like Advaita Acharya. That drama was
So
that
Prabhupada is
drama
acting as
was
Advaita Acharya. Feel like Advaita Acharya. Definitely Prabhupada would have felt like Advaita Acharya, isn't it? And uh, honestly speaking, the bhav with which he brought up this movement, it shows by itself how much he was feeling. Feeling means we should actually appreciate what is in the heart of these great acharyas, great mahajans. Advaita Acharya, how much he must have felt seeing the completely misdirected civilization, and how much he would be wanting to somehow or other bring peace and happiness in their life and being in their life. And that was the same thing that Prabhupada also. And that is why if you read Prabhupada's purports in the Bhagavatam and all, you can easily see that he goes under the skin of the characters in the Bhagavatam also, or Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? So it is a very important quality for devotee to get under the skin, get into the mood of that particular character. You can really see that Prabhupada is so humble. He didn't say that I felt like Advaita. He said the theater, the producer, the director, that Bose was main. What's his name?
Amritlal
Amritlal
Bose.
Bose. So he just says it and stops it there, right? Please continue, Mataji.
That drama was so successful, Prabhupada remembered. It was unique in Calcutta because we were not professionals. I saw from the stage a huge gathering and they were all crying. I was surprised. Why these people are crying? It was due to training. He had trained us in such a way that we could not understand how we were playing, but the audience, they appreciated so much.
See how humble he is. He is only giving the importance to the training of Amritlal Bose. He is not giving any importance to how he was acting, right? That's the humility par excellence, right? Amazing it is. He himself say we could not understand how we were playing. It was all due to training. So in other words, what he means is that when you're playing the part, you should actually feel that you are that part. That's what Prabhupada said even for those who are playing Ravana, Hiranyakashipu also. He said, you have to feel like Hiranyakashipu, only then you will act properly. Which means you would not be feeling like you are acting on a stage. You should actually be into the skin of that character. Right? Amazing this is. Let's go further.
With Prajapati directing, the Vaikuntha players performed the Ramayana in two parts and a piece with dance and music called The Song of Hanuman. The performers would come by taxi from Juhu an hour's drive in their elaborate costumes and makeup. They were quite a sight. Prajapati portraying Rama, his wife Satarupa Sita, Nandakishore Lakshman, Lohitaksha Hanuman, Rasagna Surpanakha, and Lokamangala Ravana, all riding in the car. When they arrived, When they arrived the first night, Prabhupada was just leaving. But when he saw them, his face lit up and he beamed a big smile and expressed his happiness to see them. Ah, Song of Hanuman. The next night, Prabhupada was still speaking when the troop arrived. They did their street play. Sudama gave the purpose, and then Satarupa danced at the Dasa Avatara, though there was a little trouble with the sound system. So the crew had to put the PA mic next to the small tape recorder speaker. But as she danced beautifully, and the audience loved it and her. There was also a dance version of the Bhagavad Gita that Prajapati choreographed to 108 Gita verses, which he narrated during the performance.
So nice, no? Prabhupada is enjoying the many times where you would see Prabhupada enjoying the drama, how the devotees are in this whole service. I said actually it's a real preaching service. So nicely people get attracted. Recently uh, in Vrindavan also, the first week of April was celebrated as Golden Jubilee. Every day, different functions with some programs were there, and the day of Ram Navami is the day when the temple was open, right? So on the day of Ram Navami, there was nice programs and everything in the morning, and in the evening, I think there was a beautiful drama with all properly choreographed dance, dialogue, everything. And it was very much appreciated. There was not even space to sit in that huge Krishna Balram hall where they will do that. It was really every day one drama was there, one skit was there. It was really appreciated. Everyone who came. So, really nice. Yes, we'll continue. One more paragraph.
Somebody wants to take over. One more paragraph. Okay. One morning during their run of shows, I informed the players that an important man, the pious industrialist and philanthropist, K.J. Somaya, had phoned me to say that he was coming and bringing his family for Ram Leela, one of the most popular dramas. So, in spite of Rasagna, one of the main players being sick, they did it without a rehearsal. And unlike the dances which were performed to pre-recorded music, the play required microphones, which created something of an obstacle course of tangled wires on stage. But this performance too was a success.
With all difficulty, still people enjoy it. We see these things while training the kids for the skit also. They don't know what they are doing. Just they just repeat the dialogue and some very small kids, and we do this Kala school and all. So many times the other one forgets the dialogue. So this one will say, "Hey, this is your dialogue. You should tell this in the drama." Only they'll say. It is real funny to have their innocence there. Nice.
Earlier, there used to be this sort of things very commonly in some sort of small cities and villages. Nowadays, we don't find
in cities and villages, near the temple, they will do all these things. There will be like, even in Bangalore, very recently also, not too far back. I used to stay near in Whitefield some 20 years ago. At that time and all, the place was still village. Now it is all full with high-grown flats. There is no sense of village at all. But that time, the roads will meet, small roads only, they will meet in one corner, and there'll be huge banyan tree or something will be there. So around that, they'll just put a temporary shamiana and all that, and they will just play drama as and when sing. And they speak in Kannada only, but still it was quite easily understandable. We can understand what they are speaking and all that, with all the music and everything. So that was actual entertainment in those days. Even now in marriage, if you go in the side of Kerala side or even the Calcutta that side, no, when you are going from the train through the villages, you will hear the drama act, the sound and all, the loudspeaker they will put and they will play those things. I've seen that even now, very recently also, I go by train and all, I tend to hear those things. So anyone wants to take over?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can.
Yes, Mother.
Towards the end of the Pandal, Prajapati, Rama still in character, took up a collection. He hadn't wanted to go back on stage for curtain calls, but Sudama and Achyutananda prevailed upon him to return, and after bows, he announced that if there were any Rama Bhaktas in the audience, they should come forward and give a donation to install the deity of Rama in Juhu. He collected many rupees. Hundreds of people touched his Rama seat. My devotees want to build a temple for me in Juhu. He called out, please help.
It's very interesting. I think you must be knowing those of our, our times, that the Ramayana serial was there in DD, no? In our Doordarshan. You
Yes,
remember in those days. Those days, actually, people would do Aarti. They will pay obeisance whenever on the Sundays when Ram comes in the scene. And even they will do the same thing for Krishna serial also. But for Ramayana, it was a huge hit because that was the first one to come as a very, extended mega serial. And when that later that Arun Govil, when he went as he was this thing, what do you call, standing in the election for MP, this thing, they used to come and do Aarti to him on the stage. That is a very interesting thing. I remember that very well. Those days, I was hardly 10, 12 years that time, 10, 12 years of that time. And I used to remember I was reading the smaller book of Ramayana very seriously those days. So I used to compare that with the serial, what they are saying and all. Very nice thing.
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, please, Mataji, continue.
The morning after one performance, Gopal Krishna told Srila Prabhupada that drama was very much appreciated last night. Somaya watched it with us and he said he would like to arrange a big program in his house. He liked the drama very much.
So one of the things about that I was trying to bring out this example is that actually people were innocent. Even now there are innocent people who are very, take it seriously about if you are working, if you are acting in a character, they kind of align you with that character. They relate you with that character and say that, you are Rama, you should not do these things and all that, which is followed to us quite an extent, I remember in 1930s, Tukaram movie, that Marathi Tukaram movie, which got prize in that Italian film thing, competition, whatever. That his name is Sam Fadnavis. I don't know what his first name, one who played as Tukaram there. So at the end of the movie shooting, he decided to leave home and take sannyas, really, being inspired by Tukaram's life, So that happened in those days, and people were quite simple and innocent and straight. Nowadays, it is not so much, but then at least people who are watching are certainly innocent to a considerable extent. Please continue, Mataji.
It has become one of the main attractions, Lokanath added. For 2 nights after the program, I inquired from the public on the microphone, did you like this drama? And immediately everybody raised their hands. Yes. They were asking me whether they are professional men. Prabhupada said, no, these are all my disciples. They are actually much better than any of the professional men, Gopal Krishna noted. Oh yes, Prabhupada confirmed. Later, Srinathji said, I remember how powerful the actors and actresses were in the Ramayana performance. The only thing it surprised me to see Sita as an American lady. I didn't mind Rama or Ravana being American. but I was still in the bodily concept. The important thing was that these actors and actresses were so wonderful in their acting. They really brought out the best of Ramayana. At the end, Prabhupada said that these performances were better than the book. Then he said, when Lord Chaitanya himself performed his plays 500 years ago, Sachimata, his own mother, could not recognize him, her own son, Lord Chaitanya, I believe, acted as Lakshmi Devi. That's the power of a strong actor who really puts his consciousness, heart, and soul in the role he plays. And that's when the Lord himself assists such an actor to exhibit all the qualities of that person.
Amazing line, no? This.
Yeah.
Please read this line again, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. That's the power. That's the power of a strong actor who really puts his consciousness, heart, and soul in the role he plays. And that's when the Lord himself assists such an actor to exhibit all the qualities of that person.
So this again, this is the Lord who is is the Lord who is actually making us that quality of that character to manifest in us. Amazing thing, right?
That's
Really
true.
nice. Yeah.
I observed that Prabhupada was extremely happy with these Vaikuntha players. That was obvious at the end of the play. On the last scheduled evening of the Pandal, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Rao Chavan, who had helped us obtain the permission for the temple, was scheduled to give the introductory speech. There had been political upheaval in Maharashtra, and there were daily reports that Chavan's Congress government could be toppled at any moment. We had been hoping that he would last as the chief minister, at least until he entered the Pandal, and that he would not cancel. In the end, Chavan was still the chief minister and kept his commitment. Krishna consciousness is another term for God consciousness, which is the essence of every faith and is the main artery of all religions, he told the crowd. In that sense, Krishna consciousness belongs to the world, and the world belongs to Krishna consciousness, because no amount of mixtures of cultures can change the fundamental principles of religion, whichever they may be. The essential principles of all religions enjoin on their devout followers the glorification of God, the Supreme Lord. Shall I continue, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
It is in this context that I pay my full quota of deserving tribute to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the illustrious founder of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. I feel a deep sense of spiritual joy in doing so. The philosophy and message of the Bhagavad Gita contain profound values for humanity as a whole. The fratricidal war.
So who is speaking all these things?
SB Chavan. SB Chavan. Chief Minister.
SB Chavan. Yeah. Such a nice thing, no? That for a government official to speak like this. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. The philosophy and message of the Bhagavad Gita contain profound values for humanity as a whole. The fratricidal war between the Pandavas and Kauravas, as vividly and heart-throbbingly described in the Mahabharata, should act as a permanent restraint to the world powers who have armed themselves to the teeth with nuclear weapons and warheads, which, if used, can destroy the bulk of mankind, and with them would go the civilizations of the world born out of endless years of human thought, endeavor, action, and sacrifice. The true
Really
significance
amazing. He's really preaching. He's really preaching.
Yeah. The true significance of the Bhagavad Gita and its imperative values was never of great importance than today. The great and indomitable founder of your society has already published 84 books in English on Krishna consciousness and Hindu philosophy and culture, which have also been translated into great number of international languages. At the same time, the society has, within just 11 years, established no less than 100 Radha Krishna temples across all 6 continents of the world. These are indeed great achievements. The fact that as many as 5,000 universities, schools, and public libraries have ordered these books should ensure that Krishna consciousness will be balanced across all parts of the globe. And the 100 temples built, And the 100 temples built should be in the future, no doubt, keep on radiating the soulful inspiration of the gospel of the Gita to the endless stream of humanity thirsting for spiritual knowledge and wisdom.
Mm.
These facts and that a mammoth cross-section of the world's peoples belonging to many races, creeds, and nations are represented in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness speaks eloquently for the vitality and velocity in the better world of God consciousness that exists in the hearts of men behind the crass temptations and selfish involvements generated by impulses and compulsions of this modern materialistic world.
Mm.
In this hectic and cantankerous world of today, the first casualty has been the light of spiritual inspiration. Alas, there's darkness at noon. In the Orient and Occident, the problems of life could be lightened and even sweetened if the Krishna consciousness movement heralds the dawn of spiritual enlightenment and happiness. I'm very glad to learn that the Sri Sri Radha Rasbihari temple is fast coming up in Juhu, on the very spot where stones were found indicating the existence of a temple 600 years ago. That will be another great event in the history of the society.
So do you remember how they found out that some 600 days ago temple was existing?
While laying the foundation.
Hmm? You remember? They found one Hanuman, one slab containing details in Marathi about one Hanuman temple existing there. No, it came much earlier when we are going through that particular section earlier. When Prabhupada was struggling to put that, the Bhumi Pratishtha thing, right? Cornerstone. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. I thank you again for letting me spend these few minutes in an atmosphere of peace and serenity in the company of those spiritually blessed. After the
So
Chief Minister's talk,
this is really nice, no? I am just reminded of the recent Khargar temple opening where Modi also came and spoke. And he literally spoke glorifying Prabhupada movement, how he faced into heart attacks, went in Jaladuta, everything about about Prabhupada's life history and all he speaks. And then about Gopal Krishna Maharaj also he speaks. I'm missing him here, etc., etc. He says that. If you remember, that's one of a very powerful preaching speeches. And for someone like the Prime Minister to do that, I have not seen, at least in the recent past, anyone else supporting our movement openly like this. He was even playing Kartal in the Harinam that went, if you remember. He took the Kartal from one of the devotees, Wampers, not the Kartal. He took the Wampers and he was playing, right? So this shows that, when leaders are supportive, then the movements are those who are followers of this Bhagavad Gita, who followers of this path, Bhakti Marga, they can do their job peacefully. They don't have to take to any indirect hidden routes to reach there, right? Otherwise, what happens? Then they'll have to do bribe, they have to do indirectly, they have to do all kinds of adjustments and here and there, which is not required when the king and the government is supportive, So that's where it is very helpful to have a understanding and liberal leader.
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, even Prabhupada was trying to meet Indira Gandhi. She didn't even hardly give any time.
She was too much disturbed by her own making, by the complexities that she herself made, cocoon that she herself made around her. And still Prabhupada was willing to help her. And he somehow found that she has grown into a good dictator if she uses her clout in the right way, by introducing Krishna consciousness, it will spread very nicely. So that is where Prabhupada saw her the usefulness of her dictatorship. while it was not to be, it took up in a different direction. But still, Prabhupada was very patient with her. And that is why, if you remember, in one section, it said that, when the emergency was declared, Prabhupada was in the US, and the reporters were all asking her, asking him how it means, like, oh, how can he be such a bad dictator, etc. But Prabhupada refrains from telling anything negative about her, but he only tells that God consciousness is the most important thing that will help in all these kind of turbulent situations. Because he knew that there will be time when it will come and it's going to be a challenge if the leader is not in good sense. Right. So, it's a
And
very important point. Yes, Mataji.
Morarji Desai also, he wanted Prabhupada to go to him and see him. Prabhupada said, no, he has to come and see me. Then he sent his disciples only to
Yes,
see
you
him.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
and
that.
they went late, a little bit late, because the other person who had to take them delayed it
Somewhere else.
deliberately. We don't know, but then he refused to see
Mm.
them also and hardly gave them any
Yeah.
audience. And
Yeah.
now things have changed so much that Prime Minister himself came. I'm sure Prabhupada must be so
Yeah.
happy actually with how
So that
this
is
movement has
Mataji, that is the effect of someone who is gone through that Sanskriti, that
correct.
culture,
Yes, correct,
because
correct. Yeah.
I mean, we are not aligning with any this thing. There are good people on all in all parties. There are bad people also in all parties. We don't have any this thing. But anybody who has gone through that hardship in their life and gone through the ranks, not just because you are born with a silver spoon, you are by default you are the king or you are the queen or whatever. Then that doesn't help, because you haven't seen the world. Even Lord Buddha also, when he was inside the palace, he didn't know anything. Only when he came out and he saw the poor people carrying someone who is dead, he even knew that there is something called death. And then he went to that path of realization, self-realization, right?
Yes,
So it is important for us to understand the hardships of life and teach the children also, for the next generation also, to understand the hardships of life. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough ask to get them into a sane path. Because everything is available at a flick of a finger for them now, right? If you, in our days when we were young, to make a phone call also we had to go far distance, and even say, for example, to watch a TV serial or some program also, we had to go to some friend's house or until we got the TV, so we had to go somewhere, and from outside you will see and you'll come. We never kind of hankered for them. If there is a chance, we would do it. Now everything is available in the phone. A lot of other things are there, and right from child 1-2 years old only they are addicted to the phone and the smartphones and this and that. And by the time they grow up, the artificial intelligence will create so many things for them. And now you don't have to struggle hard to find a question answer also. Today I saw some question somewhere, and then in the Word document, it was having that symbol on the left side. It called it Copilot. There's a code, you might be knowing, the Copilot is there. It's a small icon. So you click on that, you have to type something. Please write something about, say, the ancient texts of India. Then automatically it gives a whole 2-3 paragraphs, 2-3 pages worth of content. You tell something about the history of Prabhupada. Then it writes the whole thing. It picks up from the web, everything. Puts it up. So when I went to Vrindavan also, the VH, they had asked questions. So the devotees used to actually, they're supposed to sit to discuss in groups, look at the various verses and discuss and find out the answer. But what they do, they just go and click on Chat GPT and get the whole thing. And one Mataji sent that to me and said, Prabhuji, can you please verify if this is the answer for this question? And I went through and I said, there are a few mistakes in it, Mataji, but by and large, it is all right. You have written very nicely. Then she said, no, it is Chat GPT's response. I just got to share it. So, it's nice, really.
They don't have to think also.
Sorry?
They don't have to think also, computers doing everything.
That's what, and it makes them really lazy and dull-headed, When you don't, just like we don't walk, our legs and hands and all, they become rusty, or what you call, they don't work, no? Even vehicle, I just gave my vehicle for service, and the person, the mechanic said, "Sir, you haven't driven it at all for the last 1 full year. Only if you drive it, it will work better. So you keep it like that only, then it will look like it is new, but then internally the parts won't get oiled properly or thing. You will have to do it. So the same way our brain also, only when we squeeze it and use it, then it will actually be trained to work in a way, right? Practice to think in a certain. Otherwise, we'll be so dull that we will not want to think at all. So anyway, this we can search from database, that I can search from here. Google, it will give this, YouTube, this will give. There is no question of actually remembering at all. That's the problem. So anyway, this is very important that the leader for Yajna Acharati Shrestha Satyadeva Itarojana. It's very difficult to find people say title holders or all these name and fame people to come to say our temple and act like normal people, And by and large, I see that at least in our temple, by and large, that VIP treatment. So too much of VIP treatment is not there for in our temples for say celebrities and all. They even on Janmashtami day, they just come normally and go normally. In Chennai temple, I've seen some of these celebrities. They will come. They will stand in the queue only and come and take darshan. And that's the same thing in other places also. Mostly, at least, I've seen. Maybe to avoid the crowd, they may be doing it in some odd timings, whatever. But I've not seen like it is disturbing too much. The crowd is stopped and all that thing. It doesn't happen. Yeah. To go by our own practice. So now Giriraj Maharaj is speaking now. Who else wants to take over from here? Anyone?
I can try, Prabhu.
Yes.
From where, after pausing, no? Prabhu?
After pausing for applause, yes.
After pausing for applause, I continued. The letter further said that these books will be of great interest to scholars and persons in Russia specializing in Indian thought and culture. So pursuant to what the Honorable Chief Minister said, this is further proof of the validity of Krishna consciousness. That Krishna consciousness is not a sectarian religious faith. There are so many different faiths and so many fanatical people following them. But Krishna consciousness is a universal science valid in all parts of the world and actually parts of the universe, all different universes for all different races. And not only all different races, but in all species of life, even among the demigods, the Krishna consciousness movement is all auspicious for the welfare of every living entity. Therefore, we say that Srila Prabhupada is the greatest welfare. Sorry, Prabhu, Gaurang is troubling.
No problem.
The greatest welfare worker in the whole universe. Bas. Again, the audience applauded. He is actually giving relief to all to living entities all over the world. And this relief can be given only by Krishna consciousness, not by any material adjustment. Now we shall ask Srila Prabhupada himself, the real guru of the universe, to speak before this gathering. And yet again, the audience broke into applause.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, maybe someone else can take over.
Yes, Prabhu.
Gaurav Prabhu is busy with Gaurang.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I will take.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Achyutananda read from there.
Achyutananda read a verse and a purport from Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.3. We stated that although everyone had to earn
Which is that
enough
verse?
to keep
Let's read that verse. Let's read that verse. 553 is actually Rishabdev teachings. Mayam deho dehapajam. Okay, that one. Eva manishe, mayishe, with the Sauhridartha. Eva mayishe, with the Sauhridartha. Taneshu deham paravartikeshu. Gृहेषु चायात्मजराति मत्सु न प्रीति युक्ता यावदर्थाश्च लोके.
Those who are interested in reviving Krishna consciousness and increasing their love of Godhead do not like to do anything that is not related to Krishna. They are not interested in mingling with people who are busy maintaining their bodies, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. They are not attached to their homes, although they may be householders, nor are they attached to wives, children, friends, or wealth. At the same time, they are not indifferent to the execution of their duties. Such people are interested in collecting only enough money to keep the body and soul together.
It's a very interesting point, right? But they are not attached at the same time, they are not indifferent to the execution of their duties. That's a beautiful point here. The Sauhridartha. Yes, Prabhuji. Back to
More keep the body and soul together, not more than that, not less than that. People interested in Krishna consciousness were not interested in other things or in people who were busy with the same, and translation is given for.
same.
Rather, he read from Prabhupada's purport. A householder should lead such a life that he gets full opportunity to hear and chant. He should worship the deity at home, observe festivals, invite friends in, and give them prasada.
So now this is Achyutanand Prabhu speaking. Once he speaks from the purport, now Prabhupada is going to speak. Yes, sir.
Srila Prabhupada spoke next, advising the chief minister to tolerate material upheavals and execute his duties. In Krishna consciousness, the real problem of life, he said, is not to adjust things materially, change from one form of government to another form of government. These things are temporary. It will not give relief. And this fighting between one party and with another party, with another amongst the politicians or the Kshatriyas or the administrators is going on perpetually. That is not very new things.
So
new
Prabhupada
thing,
knew. So Prabhupada knew that the back of his mind, this Chavan, SB Chavan is having that in his mind that the government can be toppled anytime. So Prabhupada first want to insert him, appease to him, then come to the crowd, right? So he knew what is going on there inside his mind. Yes, Prabhu.
But we should not forget our real life. For ruling over to get political predominance, there may be fighting. That is natural. It is going on, just like the battle of Kurukshetra. It was fighting between two sections of same family who will rule. So there was fighting, but at the same time, they did not lose Krishna culture. That is the important point. Similarly, India has got a great culture, background, Vedic culture or Krishna culture. Vedic culture means Krishna culture, and Krishna culture means Vedic culture. Vedasya sarve rahameva vedyo. So, to study Veda or Vedanta means to understand Krishna. That is the purpose. Vedasya sarvair. Veda means knowledge, and Anta means end. Srila Vyasadeva has given us Vedanta philosophy. What is the purpose? That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, Prabhu.
Sarvasya
सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मतः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत्वेदविदेव चाहम्.
Gita 15.15. So we should take care very seriously about this culture of Bhagavad Gita. This is the Indian property. This Vedic culture instruction of Bhagavad Gita was spoken on the land of Bharatavarsha. Although it is not meant for particular class of people or a particular country, it is meant for everyone.
मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु कश्चित् यतति सिद्धये.
Especially for the human beings. Our request is that we may fight amongst ourselves for political predominance. But why should we forget our real culture? Vedic culture, Krishna consciousness. That is our request. All important men, leaders of society should take this Vedic culture, Krishna consciousness, and not only preach in their own country, but all over the world. Prabhupada spoke for another 15 minutes and concluded, we have got such vast knowledge for achieving the goal of life. This is India. Why should we neglect? Why should we become so foolish as to forget our real purpose of life and engage in a struggle for existence, which will never be successful? Why this misconception of life? At least there must be this institution of Krishna consciousness in India, so that not only the Indians, but all outside India, they should come and learn what is Krishna consciousness. The audience clapped in agreement.
That vision is already there. We should have a university of Krishna consciousness where everybody comes and studies. Even though it is not there officially in India now, but in many places in the universities, Bhagavad Gita is being taught because of the hard work of Srila Prabhupada. You know, in many universities in the US, I know for sure they have given this as an elective subject. Bhagavad Gita as an elective subject. Yes.
We are trying to develop this institution in Bombay. Bombay is the best city in India, and people are also very advanced, enlightened. So let us combine together and develop this institution for the whole human society. That is our ambition. It is not for any sect or any creed or any particular class of men. Manushyanam sahasreshu. It is for the human society, and we have got this opportunity of human body. A Bengali poet sings, Hari Hari Bifale Jana Gonayano Manusya Jana
Paya Radha Krishna Bhajiya Janiya Suniya Isha I know. Yes, no. Should sing
My
like
Lord,
this when you read.
my Lord, I have wasted this valuable human form of life because I did not take Krishna consciousness.
So whose bhajan is this? Bharatam Das Thakur.
Yes.
Yes.
If you do not take Krishna consciousness seriously in the human form of life, then you must know that you are drinking poison knowingly. Don't neglect it. Try to understand. It is based on science, philosophy, shastra, knowledge. It is not a blind faith, and we are prepared to answer you in any way. The method is very simple. Even a child can take advantage of it. Not that we are manufacturing. It is sanctioned in the Shastra. Kaler dosha nidhi rajan nasti eko mahan gunaha. This statement of Shukdev Goswami to Maharaja Parikshit. He described the faults of this Kali Yuga. It is just like an ocean, but there is one very great advantage. He said, what is that? Kirtanadeva Krishna.
Kirtanadev Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Brajet. What happened? Prabhu?
If you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then you become free from all contamination and go back to home, back to Godhead. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much. Hey, Prabhu, that's how you'd say. Thank you very much. So further. Now, the lecture is over. Anyone else wants to take over? Maybe we can read one more paragraph to hear what Prabhupada is talking about. What is his feedback about the program? Who wants to hear? Want to speak or read?
I can read, Prabhuji, if nobody is reading.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Attendance had been encouraging, so we proposed extending the pandal another week. Many good classes of people have been coming, Tamal Krishna told Prabhupada. The extra cost will not be more than about 1,000 rupees, since the main cost is in actually building it. Bhavananda Maharaj and myself felt that the devotee could continue the pandal and you wouldn't have to attend. Very nice, Prabhupada approved. I want to be possible for you. Why it should be closed? We have so much subject matter for speaking. Prabhupada said he would move to his now ready quarters at Hare Krishna land, although he had originally planned to go to Juhu on Monday. When I informed him that the Chief Minister would be attending the Pandal on Tuesday, Ram Navami, he had agreed to go on Wednesday instead. I think Surabhi will be quite relieved, Tamal Krishna said.
Whoever comes one day early, then they are doing their work in the temple, na Juhu temple, na. So one day later means he can do some more work.
Quarter time, his quarter will get better ready.
He's not too much tied up with in a hurry, doing it in a hurry.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Actually, so who remembers where this thing is happening? This Pandal program.
Mumbai, that Azad Maidan, Prabhu.
So it's a bit far from the Juhu temple. So
Yeah,
Prabhupada.
it is in South Delhi, no? South Mumbai.
Yeah. So so the thing is, it's happening that side, and Prabhupada had to go to Juhu. So they were working on fixing some of the things in the temple. Yeah.
Shall I read or Prabhuji will stop, or just read the next para? Maybe we can
Yes,
stop with
Mataji.
that.
No,
Yes,
yeah. So we will. So Prabhupada, he'll be quite relieved, and we will also read this particular section about Chief Minister Lording Krishna movement.
Okay.
Very nice. Yeah.
Okay. Prabhupada was happy with his new quarters. I think I haven't got such a place to live in the world, he said, laughing.
Live anywhere in the world.
Yeah, live anywhere in the world. Such he said,
How many of you have been to Prabhupada's quarters in Juhu temple?
I have not gone.
That Gauranga quarters and Prabhupada quarters. Gauranga, how this thing building is the one where you will see all the guest rooms and all. In Prabhupada's quarters, it is out there, just next this thing, just one tower. That I think the 5th or 4th floor, I think it is there where Prabhupada's beautifully built thing. It's a round this thing. You just go around, and then you will get such nice breeze there. Prabhupada's Murti will be there, and all Bhagavatam set, and everything will be there. Books will be there, and you'll be sitting and you'll be like writing in that writing pose. And there, if you sit, you get such beautiful breeze on all sides, Because it's a top thing. There is no nearby buildings and all. So the breeze will be so fresh and so beautiful. You should experience that. You should sit there and study Bhagavatam or chant some rounds. You can feel free to sit there. Like from 10 o'clock onwards, I think it will be open. Yeah, it will be there till 6 or 7 o'clock or something like that. Evening. Very beautiful place. Prabhupada's kitchen will be there. And his bed and his bathroom, all those things, restrooms, everything will be there. Okay, let's move on. So, yes, ma'am.
Yes, especially your own building, Gargamuni added. Los Angeles and New York, big cities they are, London, Paris, but nobody can present such a luxurious royal palace. Once he had settled in, he reviewed the Pandal program with the devotees. That chief minister spoke very nicely, he said. He wanted Chauhan's speech transcribed and published in either a magazine or the Hare Krishna monthly. Both he and his wife appeared to be devotees. The Times of India covered both the Chief Minister's talk and Prabhupada's response. Chief Minister, Lord Krishna movement. Krishna consciousness was the essence of every faith and belonged to the world. Maharashtra Chief Minister, Mr. S.B. Chauhan, said at the 3rd International Hare Krishna Festival at the Cross Maidan. Yes, Cross Maidan.
And this is where, this is the place that is closest to Chowpatty temple now. It's pretty close to the Chowpatty temple.
At the Cross Maidan in Bombay on Wednesday, Mr. Chauhan lauded the work done by Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He said that Swami was responsible for popularizing Krishna consciousness all over the world. Speaking after the Chief Minister, Swami Prabhupada emphasized the need for scientific understanding of the Bhagavad Gita to solve the problems confronting humanity. When human society is without dharma, he said, it becomes animal society. The festival scheduled to end on Tuesday has been extended another 5 days. 2 days later, Prabhupada dictated a letter to the Chief Minister. Dear Sri Chauhan, kindly accept my greeting. Extend the same to your good wife. I am so much obliged to you that you have lauded our activities throughout the world. This Krishna consciousness movement is based on deep science of the laws of nature. This human life is a boon to the conditioned soul to understand this science. I do not wish to take much of your valuable time, but I would be very much pleased if persons like you, without any political prejudice, come and take up this movement seriously and benefit the whole human society with this knowledge. At least in India, where this knowledge was generated, there must be some institution to know it perfectly and distribute it throughout the world. That will glorify India's prestige. To broadcast India's glorification is the duty of every Indian without any political differences. I wish that you may take some active part in this movement and thus magnify the prestigious position of India. Thank you very much for coming the other day and speaking so nicely about the Krishna consciousness movement. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. When after a few days, Prabhupada did not receive a reply, he commented that the chief minister was in a bind. He could not agree to join Prabhupada's movement, but neither could he refuse. So he was staying silent. Prabhupada seemed fascinated by Indira Gandhi's sudden dramatic downfall, and he had devotees read him headlines and excerpts from newspapers about it. Then after some time, he commented, "What the fools and rascals are saying, that is newspaper."
So Prabhupada is making them speak all these things and then comments there.
Yeah.
Stop
But
here.
yeah. Prabhupada actually he made no stern, he tried so much to actually contact all politicians because they are followed by so many people. He was just trying it. Somebody takes to Krishna consciousness. The movement can spread so
the amount
much.
of effort that Prabhupada put in to bring all the leaders into this fold,
Yes,
it is, inconceivable, really.
Yeah. And he never gave up till the end also.
And not just after the movement took off. Before that also he was writing so much to
Yeah.
Nehru, Gandhi,
Correct,
everybody,
correct.
Correct, correct, correct. Yes, Prabhuji.
And the beauty is that he kept a copy of all these letters so that we could all read now.
Yeah.
Those people would have thrown it away. But Prabhupada kept a copy of all the letters that both came to him and those were returned by him. That's the mastery, You hear the nice letter that he wrote to Sumati Morarji, who got upset when somebody kind of wrote in a lower tone about Vallabhacharya, right? So those things are very useful for us now, and we also face a similar question, right? Nice, very discussion today. So,
In
Suresh
fact,
Prabhu, you raise your hand, sir. Yes, Gaurav Prabhu.
Just one line, Prabhu. In fact, Prabhupada approached many of his god brothers also, Prabhu. So the number of rejections that is got is, I mean, it is very difficult to, understand that actually.
Yeah. Yes, Suresh Prabhu.
Prabhuji, this letter which is written to S.B. Chauhan is also Prabhupada would have repeated it to even Modi when he spoke about our organization and lauded our organization. Even Prime Minister also lauded a lot in recent times when he visited ISKCON temple.
No. Who told him? Who told Modi?
Now, Modi also lauded activities of
Lauded,
our
yes.
organization.
Yes,
So,
very much. Yeah. Oh, that is the beauty, Prabhu. Actually, genuine people, they will appreciate the hard work that devotees are doing. And I'm telling you, Prabhu, there is no other existing movement in this in the world where the followers are having so much Guru Bhakti towards founder Acharya, to Srila Prabhupada. So much Guru Bhakti is not there in other movements.
yes.
Even when they are present, we are talking about 50 years after his departure.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice point, Prabhu.
Recently, even Rahul Bajaj connecting to ISKCON Pune temple and giving donations.
Yeah.
Just because
So
seeing
there are many
this
people,
kind of
Prabhu.
respect for the Prabhupada.
As you see, the main thing here is like people are all suffering. It's not just people are suffering for food or for money and all. People are suffering mentally also. Otherwise, with all the money, why so many people of the celebrities are committing suicide or getting into depression or going to psychiatrists, etc., etc. So Prabhupada knew that. He knew what is happening here in this world. That is why he was very much particular that this has to be spread all over the world widely. So next week we'll commence with what's happening in Juhu. He has finished with the Cross Maidan Pandal. And then one thing we all have to remember is that during this time, this is the last Pandal program that Prabhupada is attending in his Prakat Leela in this world. After this, he is going to move on to Vrindavan because his health is already deteriorated. You see, Vrindavan, Rishikesh, and all that happen. So we'll stop here, and Krishna willing, will continue the next instance. Right? Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji. Have a good week ahead. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada ki
Thank
Jai,
you, Prabhuji.
Srila
Hare
Prabhupada ki Jai, Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji.